Good morning, YouTube, from Imperfect Creations Homestead in Virginia. I don't usually lead with my zone because, quite frankly, I have no idea what zone I'm in. Right now, it is 68 degrees. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd. It's not going to get much warmer than this. See that good red in those trees? Yeah, that's been there about 3 good weeks. So the maps try to tell me I'm in zone 7B. I grow like I'm in zone 6B, 7A. It's probably safest because it can stay cold here into the second week of June. We can get surprised sometime and have warm weather into, say, October, but not too often. Now, we did have some freak 98-degree weather last week for one day, 92 another. Now it's back down to where we typically are this year. So I thought I'd bring you along with me today as I go through the garden and give you a quick tour, update on what's happening on the homestead. This morning I am turning over my compost bin. Looks like black gold in there. Look at that. You see that? That's good stuff. That's good stuff, right? Yeah. Every opportunity I get, I add kitchen scraps, leaves, grass clippings, hedge trimmings. I pull down healthy leaves from the plants in my pruning endeavors. And so my compost bin is doing great. Now, it is buried in my raised bed. I think I've mentioned that before. And I see the worms busy at work. I see some other bugs busy at work nibbling on my seedlings that I planted at the end of July. But we're going to okay them this one time. So I'm going to turn over the compost bin. If you just hang with me a few minutes, and then we'll get to that tour. And hopefully the phone doesn't fall. If it does, I apologize. Oh, that's some good stuff. Oh, yeah. I see beetles and everything busy at work down in there. Got some eggshells, grass clippings, hedge trimmings. I've got juniper bushes in the front yard. And my neighbor, ooh, that's a fat worm. Oh, I wish y'all could have seen that fat worm. It's beetles, worms. Everybody's hard at work in here. And I'm here for it. Thank you guys. Thank you for working hard for me. Feeding my garden. Appreciate it. Brought you some good stuff. Good thing about paper bags is I can do that right there. And I did that on purpose today. Because what just went in there is absolutely disgusting. So, let down my little cage cover. Grab you guys. And I'm back. All right. So, if you don't know, I am mom and dad to a very curious little 8-year-old who helps me with all of this. And so we do a lot of research, we do a lot of reading, we do a lot of question asking on YouTube, within our community, outside our community. And we have learned so much about gardening just in the last year. Now, I have been container gardening for 10 years. This makes year 10 for me. I started on a 4-foot by 9-foot balcony in my apartment back in 2014, before my daughter was even born. And now we have what my sister lovingly calls the farm. It's not a farm. It's really not that much space, but my house sits on about just shy of half an acre, and my backyard is mostly hill, as you can see. But with the help of friends, family, neighbors, these two hands and the feet of Jesus, we have turned this space into something that has given us so much food. And not just us, but family, friends, our community, neighbors, everybody has eaten out of this garden in the last 7 years. 7 years. We've been here 7 years. So here we are this morning. We have the sweet potatoes, looking lovely. Please don't ask me what kind I planted. I know there's Japanese in there somewhere, but because I intermingled the slips when they were planted, oh, that's so beautiful. It's a hawk up there. Oh, I wish I could have caught it on camera in time, but I digress. I wish I could tell you what kind is in which bed. I've got 3 beds. They're circular. They're 3 feet in diameter, but they're intermingled because when the slips started coming in, I put them in individual containers, but I sustained an injury in the time between transplanting them, up potting them and transplant. And so I was on crutches, and a good friend, thank you, sis, you know who you are, transplanted them for me. So I don't know who went where. I just know we got sweet potatoes. And then we have, as I call it, the melon patch. I planted Rocky Ford green melons, cantaloupe, and watermelon. And I was so sad because I thought we weren't going to get any melons. But as it turns out, we got melons. You saw that pretty melon. We got 3 more on the other side of the trellis. I'll show you this. And this is just a cattle panel that I have bent. So there's a melon. And here's a melon. And there's a little baby melon. I'm not sure if y'all can see those, if the focus was good or not. But over here with the melons, I have strawberry corn and a variety of beans. There are purple hull peas, there's pink-eyed peas, there's stringless green beans, there's standard green beans. That's the melon patch. And then right next to the melon patch starts my squash and okra. So I have round zucchini. And in the back, you can see the okra is just starting to put on fruit. So I will admit, I am a little bit nervous about the okra just starting to come in because it's starting to get chilly. And my little girl is supposed to be responsible for harvesting the okra because Mama don't like okra. I planted it for my mom. My mom lives on our homestead with my daughter and I. So she's responsible, but she does not like cold weather. I don't know what's wrong with that child. I don't like hot weather. So, you don't like what you're born in. And then we have the squash patch. It may not look like much, but we have a huge spaghetti squash growing, as you can see. I've already harvested a good size acorn squash that was fully mature. I've harvested a butterbush squash, I think 3 zucchini, really good size. They were so tasty. Long black zucchini. I've harvested 1 round zucchini. That was the first time growing that. And I've harvested a really tiny yellow summer squash. There are more butterbush squash coming in. And more zucchini coming in. Now, I won't go over there to give you a close-up because the bees are hard at work and Mama does not disturb beans. Mama does not disturb them. I'm sorry, y'all. I get so tickled when I see more beans to pick because let me tell you something. If nobody else is giving out here in this garden, these beans are putting in work, okay? The beans said, Mama, we are here. We will not go softly into that good night. you're going to hear and see us. I've been collecting beans twice a day, every day for the last 3-4 weeks. I'm making some new compost tea. If anybody knows what this red kind of film is inside my bucket, would you please put it in the comments, because I don't know. I don't know if it's something that could potentially harm the plants. I hope not, because I've already fertilized this morning. But let me give you a close-up. Can you see that? It's some sort of red residue. I'm hoping it's just algae or something that won't harm the plants, but we will find out. That's my mom joining us out here. I'm gonna put this pitchfork back. And since I'm in the greenhouse putting the pitchfork back, let me give you the updates in the greenhouse. So in the greenhouse, I have expanded again, added more shelving. So now I don't have to use growing space for storage. Imagine that. And I can walk around freely again. I am going to get a second trash can to be my winter water storage. Serves two purposes. I have rainwater stored to water anybody that's growing in the greenhouse. And because it's in a black trash can, if you didn't know, black attracts heat. So during the day, that black trash can and the water inside of it are going to act as a collector of heat. And any sunshine, they're going to, pull in heat from it and hold it. And then at night, when it cools off, guess what? They're going to radiate or give off that heat. And so the greenhouse will be slightly warmer than it is outside. That may not seem like much, but when it's 30 and 40 degrees outside, the plants inside the greenhouse will appreciate it. And that's how I grow year round. The things I'll grow in the greenhouse this fall and winter are going to be my lettuces, brassicas, that's a kale. I had a cabbage, but it died, and so I planted cilantro and parsley in its place. They haven't come up yet. I've got lettuce planted with my mint. Behind me, I've got more lettuce. I have more iceberg lettuce than I know what to do with. I've got some salad bowl blend. I've got some romaine. I've got some mini romaine, little gems. And I've got even more romaine and salad bowl mix back there. And what you see interspersed with them are leeks. Those are, I believe, American flag leeks. Yes, American flag leeks. And then these are my extra brassicas that I just planted. So someone, I believe it was either Miss Barbara on a Gardener's Journey homestead, or it was Miss Asia on Yellow Door Urban Homestead. But they made a really good point. When you harvest those brassicas, that head, like your broccoli, your cauliflower, your pak choi, that's it. That there's no cutting coming in with those. So I figured if we wanted more than one round, I should probably plant some more, right? So I planted more. And so the broccoli, cauliflower, and pak choi have all germinated in the 4 days since I planted it, because I planted it Friday. Yeah, there you go. And so hopefully we will have, if all goes well, we will have lettuce and brassicas all fall and winter. I've got carrots, brassicas, lettuce, all kinds of things in the green stalk. And things are going really well here on the homestead. So let me take you over to the green stalk. First, let's stop by the rolling planter. I've got corn and peas and rosemary. I don't know if the radishes in there are doing anything. I don't know. We'll see. So the green stalk has pak choi and lettuce and peas and carrots and squash and dill and buncheon onions and spinach. Did I say kale? And chamomile. The chamomile is making a comeback. I think it likes cool weather, and I didn't realize that at first. Lavender. I've also got lemon balm. I said spinach. I reseeded my carrots. Yeah. So that's everything in the green stalk. And then the raised bed is doing well, if you didn't get a good look at that. Here I've got broccoli, cauliflower, parsnips, carrots, beets, rutabagas, kidney beans. There's a rogue onion from last season that's in there. 2 different kinds of beets, red, Detroit dark red, and golden, and some pak choy, I believe. This is the newcomer to the garden. I'm so grateful, Jesus. Y'all just don't know. Listen, we got comfort, y'all. Look at that. Ain't she beautiful? And that's her sister. That's her baby sister. Baby sister trying to outdo her. If I could remember the name of the Etsy shop I got it from, I would tell you. I'll try to link it in the video. We also have lemon balm now. And she pretty. And eucalyptus. And the grapes are trying to make a comeback before fall sets in. And I'm trying to help them with this bug eradication. My borage and calendula are doing great. I'm collecting probably 2 or 3 calendula every day. The flowers and a piece of the stem so I can dry them. These are the fall tomatoes that I put in with some lettuce and some King Richard leeks. It's good stuff, right? And these beans have been in here since May 5th, since Cinco de Mayo. And when I pull the corn out of this grow bag, I call it a bed sometimes because it's huge, but it's a grow bag. It's 4 feet by 2 feet, I believe. When I pulled the corn out of here, these beans took off. And then I just transplanted the beans. Beans. Even more beans. Oh, I love picking beans. So that's 2. I just transplanted these tomatoes, I want to say 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, and you see how big they are already. I've had to stake them. And the good part is I put the stakes in before I transplanted my tomato seedlings, so that helped a lot. I'm gonna do something strange today. I'm gonna take y'all into the cage. Y'all know I don't go in this cage in the videos, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for you, YouTube. I'm gonna do it. So if I can get my squirrel barrier off here. For those that are new to my channel, welcome. We again are in Virginia in a mixed zone, 6B, 7A, 7B. I grow like I'm in 6B because that's safest, given our cold tendencies. We are very close to the mountains in Virginia. And so what they get, we get. And it's not always safe to plant by what they tell you on the zone map. So I am standing in what my baby named the cage. So I'll give you I can only turn so far because it's foliage everywhere. Y'all see that? This tomato is trying to violate my hair behind me. Yeah, and this is after I pruned. This is after I pruned. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all that growth. So look at the eggplant. The eggplant was this big when I pruned those tomatoes. And she said, ma'am, you gave me sunlight, I'm out. Look at that. I want to show y'all these serrano peppers. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see those serrano peppers carrying out ridiculous? Baby, as soon as they start turning red. As soon. So, just like Miss Lisa said on Growing with Lisa, she's in Alabama 8A. I come out every day. I check, rain or shine. I harvest, check my soil, moisture levels. If any tomato is blushing, it goes in the house. I don't leave it. If it's blush, it's going in the house. Because, like Broke Farmer said, I'm out here for the same reason the bugs out here, to eat. So I found 2 completely ripe San Marzano tomatoes earlier today when I was fertilizing. And so I took those in the house. And I got a few cherry tomatoes that had blushed. So I've got San Marzano, I've got bush cherry, although they lied, them some big tall bush cherries. I've got Rutgers tomatoes. I've got basil, all kinds of peppers. I've got jalapeno. Yeah, I got two different kind of jalapeno because one is shiny and one is matte, if I'm saying that right. Got paprika. Look at that paprika. I'm just waiting on them to turn red. That's all. So I can take them in and dry them and grind them into powder. But yeah, I've been picking tomatoes every day for the last 6 weeks, I believe. Yeah, like I said, today is Tuesday, September 3rd. So yeah, I thought y'all might enjoy a peek inside the cage. I'm always talking about the cage, always trying to get pictures of the cage, but I don't know that I've ever taken y'all into the cage. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the cage. I'm gonna put back my squirrel block, as I call it. I have trouble with squirrels in my area, constantly trying to get in and eat my food. I don't appreciate it. I know Brooke said to share, but these rogue squirrels are ridiculous. I think the last thing I have to show y'all, I got beans. My baby girl is listening and watching. She rescued the roselle this morning. It fell off the bench. That's twice in the last week because we've had some pretty significant storms. Oh, that's what I wanted to show y'all. I planted fall mustards, two different kinds, red giant and tatsoi. And I also started turnips and radishes, and they are up. And that's chamomile that I transplanted. And then another basket of the same. Red giant mustards, tatsoi, turnips, and two different kinds of radishes. Over behind me, I'm gonna level that off, and the bin that I built, this one right here, that's gonna be for the garlic, and that one's gonna be for the onions because we want more this year. And then lastly, we have Sorority Row right behind me. That's my tomatoes, my indeterminate tomatoes. So you got Dr. Witchy's, you've got Brandywine Black, you've got beefsteak and super beefsteak. And we've had so many tomatoes, and more coming in. We've also got roselle. I pulled out the loofah some time ago. We got healthy leaves, beautiful blooms, no loofah. So we'll try again next year. And then look at the echinacea. This is the echinacea we planted by seed back in what, January? When did we do winter sowing?
I think it was, yeah, it was January.
January? Yeah. Just in time for fall, that's about to bloom. And then
there's one right here.
There's another, and another, and another. And then that's the transplant that I bought. And then this is the fall cabbage that I transplanted. That's the early golden. Can y'all see that? Still got onions. Onions are working. They working. Protecting. My habaneros are finally about to give me something. So are the cayenne. This one is starting to flower. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. I just pulled tomatoes yesterday and today. And then back up. This is the red acre cabbage. Yeah, so everything is beautiful and healthy in the garden. Fall is in the air. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll catch y'all next time.